2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. See you in a bit. Greetings from the Peter Hodgson Community Ground. We are live here on Coventry United TV for another evening of United Counties League Premier Division South football. Liam Cook comes to you live from the ground, also affectionately known as Bears Cross Lane. We've had a couple of disappointments in the past few months with this fixture, but we're finally ready to go on the slightly sandy surface here at Godmanchester Rovers. But credit to everyone at Goddie for getting this game on after what's been a tough period for the playing surface, especially due to the ridiculous amount of rain that we've had after the turn of the year. Let's get into your starting lineups. The squads are lining up ready to kick off. We'll start with Coventry United. In goal for the Red and Greens, number 1, Dan Moore. 2, Harry Sawyer. 3, Danny Fraser. 4, captain Chris Cox. Number 5, Shay Palmer. 6 is Cody Mullen. 7, Charlie Shaw. 8, Stanley Jube. 9, Ryan Harkin. 10, Nehemiah Zazi. And number 11, Lewis Wilson. On the bench for Coventry United, Cameron Dunn, Riley DeVoyle, Isaac Adigoke, Benji Anamarco and Luke Downs. And starting for Godmanchester this evening, number 1, Max Rigby. 2, Josh Newman. 3, Ed Randerson. 4, Johnny Hall. 5, Jamie Short. 6, George Holman. 7, Matty Allen. 8, Harry Roper. 9, Craig Gillies. 10, Ben Seymour Shove. And number 11, Zane Campbell. On the bench for Goddie, number 12, Andre Williams. 14, Gaz Smith. 15, Josh Smith. 16, Dan Brown. And 17, Toby Jackson. And I noticed in that team news, I'm very disappointed that we didn't get the best surname in football on the bench or in the team, and that is Mastro Piero. I love saying that name every time we come here to Bears Cross Lane. Sadly, he's not in the team. We're underway now. Coventry kicking from left to right in their usual home strip of red with green and black lining, and Gotti all in blue this evening. It's Coventry United on the march early on. Stanley Dew with the through ball. Overlap being made by Danny Fraser. Holds his run. And the chance to cross for Dew, looking for an early opening. And they've got the early opening here. Nehemiah Zazi just covered off in time as he looked to get the shot away. Ed Randerson getting body between player and ball. And the throw-in on this near side, level with the penalty area. Harry Sawyer. Sawyer's throw. Cody Mullen, deft chip in towards Harkin, chest control, snatched away from the top scorer by Roper. Cleared as far as Chris Cox, who plays it straight back into danger and slipped in for Nehemiah Zazi. Could be a great chance here for the opener, and again Zazi couldn't get the strike in on goal. Johnny Hall this time. It's a audacious start from Coventry United, the favourites heading into this game, given their recent track record. But Godmanchester, of course, are not here to make up the numbers. They're here to get some points. Cody Mullen wearing the number 6 this afternoon. Nods the ball into touch on that far side, into the away dugout, housing Terry Anderson and Luke Morton. And the throw will come from Josh Newman. Newman's throw. Flicked on and slipped by Cody Mullen. Able to divert the ball into the path of the former Highgate captain, Shay Palmer. Asking Zazi to make the run. Cushion header away by Jamie Short. Wilson, it's under hit to Randerson. Ransom rims it into touch. Coventry United have the throw just in front of the CUTV camera. Sawyer, Mullen flicked it on. Diverted out towards this near side, and Coventry have another throwing off the hip of George Holman, level with the box. It's a good start for the Red and Greens, but can they make it count? You can have all the possession, all the opportunities you want. You've got to make it work. You've got to get the goals, and that's what Coventry have thrived upon in the last few weeks. Especially this time last week when Coventry United sealed their biggest winning margin in almost a decade against Obi. The throw in towards Lewis Wilson. Gets his head through it, but straight out for the goal kick. Plenty of Champions League action tonight, but nothing else in the United Counties League Premier Division South. It's a leaping header by Cox onto the goal kick from Rigby. Zane Campbell. And Matty Allen looking to get Godmanchester in on the action, and Gillies in a good position. There's a little trip in the area, and the referee has way for offside. Dangerous times as Ben Seymour shove. Caught on the slide. Gillies trying to lay it behind for what should have been a simple strike home for the number 10. Danmore with his first taste of action at Bears Cross Lane. Collected on the right wing for Campbell. It stabs it into the ground, into the home dugout. Fraser throws it back into play. Mullen. Clearance along the right touchline by Newman. Campbell. It's a high one for Gillies, who's looking dangerous early on. That first opportunity for Godmanchester had Coventry at halves firmly in mouths. Sawyer. It's too far for Zazi. And cleared for the Coventry United throw in their own half by Johnny Hall. Sawyer over the head of Zazi. Lewis Wilson beats Hall to the punch. Mullen. It's with Charlie Shaw looking to wrestle his way through. Couldn't beat Harry Roper. Lofted ball by Seymour shove. Bounces awkwardly towards Gillies. And Gillies heading down, gets the free kick in a tussle with Shea Palmer. Both men hitting the deck. Referee concluding that it was Palmer who instigated that incident. Harkin and Zazi staying up. Everyone else in and around that penalty area defending. It's Godmanchester free kick to be sent in by the man who won it, Ben Seymour shove. It's cut in towards that far post, nodded up and out. And it's been given as a corner, coming off the head of Palmer last. So we've had 6 minutes at Bearscroft Lane. United Counties League Premier Division South fixture here on CUTV. Godmanchester Rovers 0, Coventry United 0. United having the best of the opening 5 minutes, but now Godmanchester starting to come into their own on their home surface. Delivery towards Gillies. It's a good strong punch away from Danmore. Coventry looked to clear. Stanley Dube was running towards Charlie Shaw. Couldn't pick him out. It's back in by Hall. Picked out beautifully by Coventry United skipper Chris Cox. Now Dube lets fly. And Charlie Shaw will chase. But it's easy pickings from the man in bright green. And that is Max Rigby, the Goddy number 1. Rigby clear. Not as clear as would have liked. It's off the head of Lewis Wilson. Palmer gifts it to the chest of Randerson. Palmer battles hard against Gillies. Back home to Dan Moore. Headed on by Holman. Thumped on by Cody Mullen. Zazi gives chase down the left wing in a battle with Zane Campbell. He's won the battle. Will he win the war? Still fighting over the ball. And a neat slide challenge in by Cody Mullen. And Coventry have got a hand on possession now with Cox. Floating ball diverted well clear on the volley by Jamie Short, the number 5. All the way home with Dan Moore, the United number 1. Sawyer Wilson, Zazi and Harkin all going for it. But Max Rigby collects on the fringes of his penalty area. 7 clean sheets this season in League and Cup for Godmanchester. Coventry United boasting one of the best defences in the league at the moment, but they're of course missing a big part of that in Adam Miles. A huge signing in Shea Palmer, able to counteract the damage. Campbell slotting into a wing-back role. Number 8, Roper twisting into danger. And United drawing in the free kick. It was Chris Cox who was hacked down. And he's in some measure of discomfort, kicking the ground. But Coxey is not a man who's going to be forced off the field for anything less than broken bones. And he's back on his feet now. After a good run of home fixtures, Coventry United have got to show what their mettle is worth on the road. Game against Easington on Saturday before that's a monumental FA Vase quarter-final on the 28th against AFC Stoneham. That match is now official as Lewis Wilson collects the legs of a Godmanchester men in the centre circle where he says nothing doing. Zane Campbell racing in from the right-hand side. Campbell in towards Gillies. And it just drifts away into the path of Moore. So, Godmanchester really feeling their way into this contest. Moore gets the hurry up to take the kick, and down the centre of the park it goes. Nehemiah Zazi looking to bring it down, wins the aerial duel with Short. Wilson. Zazi barges in on Short again, and Coventry maintain the ball in the middle of the park. Harkin to target. Newman able to do enough. Campbell and Shaw a little too enthusiastic. A knee in the back on Zane Campbell. Shaw unhappy about the award, but I don't think Coventry can have any complaints. Ten gone. In the United Counties League Premier Division South, Godmanchester Rovers 0, Coventry United 0. A bumper audience tuning into CUTV live from Cambridgeshire this evening. Welcome to you all. Hoofed away by Newman. Off the head of Gillies in midfield. Roper, a little drag on the arm on Cody Mullen. References nothing doing as it's sent soaring into the opposite penalty area by Shaw. Rigby with safe feet. Strikes at the head of Mullen again. A leaping header to the feet of Johnny Hall. Seymour Shaw gives chase. Headed clear by Palmer. Mullen. And the cross in by Randerson. Vital header behind by Chris Cox out to the edge of the area. Jude keeps it flowing. Danny Fraser, Stanley Jude struggled to keep his footing. But he has got the throw-in out of it on the far side, halfway into Coventry territory. This service has taken a battering over the course of the season with the weather and the vast array of matches on it. By Allen, charged down, flies high into the sky, and Cody Mullen dispossessed mid-air by Holman. Holman again runs it into touch. It was initially given as a Coventry United throw by the linesman. The referee's overturned it. It will now be in favour of Godmanchester, and I think a free kick's been given. Indeed it has. Shaw again getting on the referee's bad side. Let's see more shove. Heading to collect the loose ball. It seems that the style of play this evening, unsurprisingly for Coventry United, is Route 1. Going with 2 up front in Zazi and Ryan Harkin. Wilson in the 10. And Charlie Shaw continues to protest his innocence. Now he's got a job to do. A one-man war standing in front of Ben Seymour's shove. Out comes Dan Moore, got both hands to it, and the free kick's been given on Dan Moore despite the wayward strike from Harry Roper. Moore into a crowd of red and blue and wins the day. Cox into the night sky. Zazi waits for it to dip into his path, off his head into touch. Halfway into Godmanchester territory. So they got themselves out of danger for now, but Coventry United have got to try and put some pressure on Rigby's net. Godmanchester may not be where they want to be in the table, but it's still a tough place to come. Many teams around Coventry United's vicinity have faltered at Bearscroft Lane. Newman. Charlie Shaw's header. Roper, aimless ball down the right flank. Coventry United with another throw-in. Very stop-start in the opening 14 minutes. Shea Palmer, formerly of Worcester City. Wilson up for it. So he didn't get the initial touch, but it's headed off the back of his head by Josh Newman. Zazi bursting in. Wilson lays it off for Charlie Shaw. He did get the strike in, but Harry Roper charging through Shaw. An awkward fall for Gillies, the skipper. Coventry United continue. Shaw. And there was Randerson in from the side doing enough. Neat pirouette from Matty Allen. Opening the door for an approach down the left, which was immediately cut out by Harry Sawyer. Cox. Godmanchester setting up well at the back, repelling Coventry United's aerial game, which has worked so well in the last few weeks. Certainly against North Shields in the FA Vars last 16. Dan Moore under pressure, clears. Glancing header on by Charlie Shaw. Campbell prevents Lewis Wilson from getting to the seconds. Newman. High one along the right touchline. Gillies trying to get there. A little shove in the back on the United defender, Chris Cox. And it's actually worked out well for Cox, which he was in a perfect position to collect from Danny Fraser, who was able to intercept from Gillies. A bouncing ball through Coventry United's attack into the hands of Rigby, who's not been tested in the opening 16 minutes. Remains scoreless in the United Counties League Premier Division South. Godmanchester Rovers and Coventry United linking up. It was supposed to be a game between the two in October as an ambitious effort from midfield of the boot of Matty Allen. Ambitious, yet not successful as it floats over a backtracking Dan Moore. Dan Moore didn't get the height or the distance on that clearance, but United getting a get out of jail free card. Harry Roper simply punting his laces through it. No one home for Goddy. Moore to the right. Just off the tip of Wilson's head. Forced to Hall. And here come Coventry United for more. Ryan Harkin cushions it down for Nehemiah Zazi. Scored twice in that 9-0 victory over Oadby. One of three players to score a brace. Mullen trying to control it and gets the first ever on target. A testament to how difficult this playing service will be, that Mullen first had to bring the ball to the ground. Rigby. Mullen up for it. Zazi too slow to the seconds. Shepherded home. Rigby over the Coventry back line. Easy pickings for Dan Moore. The indisputed Coventry United number one. Here's Palmer. We'll give Adam Miles a job to get his place back in the side when he returns from injury. Chested through by Nehemiah Zazi. Stanley Dew crossing opportunity from the right-hand side. Puts it through. And Lewis Wilson, I think, was trying to guide it into the path of Ryan Harkin. Edges past the far post. Much more like it from Coventry United, however. Rigby rolls up onto the chest of Cody Mullen. Can't find a route through, so it's back with Cox. Palmer. Cox once more. High one towards Wilson. Nodded up by Wilson. Zane Campbell races onto the loose ball and looking to get Godmanchester started here. Runs into a determined Charlie Shaw, who curtails that move out for a throw. 10 yards shy of the halfway line for Godmanchester. Newman. High angled ball from Zane Campbell, and another simple gather for Dan Moore. Hasn't quite lived up to the expectations tonight here at Bearscroft Lane. But plenty of football still to be played. We're not even halfway through the first half yet. Fraser, whose crossing ability could be crucial. It's not one of his finer balls, but Holman returns to Cody Mullen. Sawyer calling for it out wide. That's a delightful ball to find the right back. Randerson does his best. Sawyer gets through. It's curling all the way onto the crossbar from Harry Sawyer. Not what he intended, I'm sure, but goals are goals. And Sawyer inches away from scoring his third of the season. Rigby's clearance onto the boot of Danny Fraser. Zazi's header. Harkin, now Charlie Shaw with blue shirts all over him. Can he get something out of it? No, he can't. Goal kick. Campbell one side, Newman the other. Quick handshake between the two. Again, with the Gotti number one, Max Rigby. Cox equal to it. Free header from the captain, Zazi. Pinballs around the midfield. Wilson and Harkin giving chase. Rigby the first, two the seconds. Headed across the back line by Cox. That's Jube's job to get there first, and does. Scuffs it to Nehemiah Zazi. Sawyer. Chest control from Roper. Now here's Holman. Cox steaming in once more, and steaming in himself was Johnny Hall. Vicious punt to the right. Danny Fraser all over the attacker in Ben Seymour's shove. Pendulum swinging back into Godmanchester's favour, perhaps. Roper. It's shy of Zane Campbell. That ball towards the right wing. Coventry United with the throw in as Chris Cox reties his boots. A new artificial surface being built through the season. Now finished on the far side of Bearscroft Lane. At the moment it's not ready to host first team matches. And a bat on the far side. Gave a head tennis. Eventually comes off the head of Cody Mullen. And United have got to get their rhythm back. A very strong bench for the Red and Greens this afternoon. Cameron Dunn, Roddy DeVoyle, Benji Alamarco, Luke Downs, and the new boy, the former Highgate and Rugby Town midfielder Isaac Adegoke. And a high boot on Nehemiah Zazi, who aims to avoid it, but it was an errant stud from Jamie Short, which brought the referee's attention to it. Godmanchester rallying their troops for the assault from Danny Fraser. Leaping up with Shea Palmer, couldn't connect. Mullen runs in for the seconds. Secondary delivery by Cody Mullen. And cleared only as far as Stanley Jube. Crucial clearance back out to Shaw. Deflected into the hands of Rigby. Not the cleanest of connections from Jube, but it was goal bound. Sawyer and a soft free kick. Harry Sawyer with the lightest of love shoves on Ben Seymour's shove. So the free kick will now be taken by the number 4, Johnny Hall. Including Gillies. Cox unmatched mid-air as he has been for the majority of his career. And the ball intended to the right wing for Zane Campbell, just shepherded aside by Stanley Jube all the way out for a throw-in in United's own backyard. Coming up to 25 minutes gone in the United Counties League Premier Division South. It's got Manchester Rovers nil, Coventry United nil. Coventry with the best chances so far, but unable to break the deadlock. Fraser looks to change that with a lofted ball to Zazi. Cushioned header brought down by Roper, who gifts it to Jube. That through the heavily sanded midsection of the pitch. Mullen's target, Charlie Shaw, was out of reach. And Randerson with a hit and hope between the two strikers, straight to Moore. Palmer strides out of the area. Clips it along the right flank, caught Sawyer unawares, but he's dealt with it well. Chip towards Shaw. Hall strong in defence, keeping Shaw at bay, but Shea Palmer instigates a second wave. Wilson prevents the clearance from Roper. Stanley Jube and Sawyer's ready to embark down the right. Randallson stands in his way. Little drag on the shoulder and a definite drag on the shirt there on Harry Sawyer. If the referee had seen that, surely would have been a free kick to the red and greens. Palmer, can he shift it out on Gillies? And that will be a free kick. Gillies with his hands on the shoulders of Shea Palmer, trying to muscle his way past the veteran centre-back to the loose ball before it trickled over the line for the goal kick. Cox. Juve made the run down the left. Shaw's able to clear his lines with the header. And Cody Mullen taking out his own player in the slide there. Stanley Jube and Zane Campbell having to leap out of the way of a sliding Mullen. Thrown in front of the away dugout. Terry Anderson looking on. Thinking of the next master plan. Hull. Kung Fu like kick up fields. Returned to sender by Cox's head. Roper to Randerson. And Gillies hasn't had a sniff. Neither has Ben Seymour's shove. It's out on this near side for a throw-in just into enemy territory for Godmanchester. Quick throw for Randerson. Shaw jockeys. And Hall, it's a beautiful turn by Seymour's shove. But the ball just edges away from the number 10. A fantastic set-up play from Seymour's shove and puts more under pressure on the release. Short to Roper. Randerson handing the side from Harry Sawyer, and that was a more clean-cut free kick than the one he conceded a minute or two ago. Excuse me. Hall steps up again. Bodies arriving at the far post. Stabbed out for the corner. No nonsense defending from Cody Mullen. And we want to send our best wishes out to Club Secretary Marion Davis and Life President Mel Davis, who aren't able to join us this evening due to personal reasons, but hope everything's good, guys. The red and green stacking up at the back. Free up for Coventry United in a dangerous scenario. Chris Cox leaping up and it's sent behind for the goal kick. As the red and green sweep out, ready for the next wave of momentum. Sawyer on a dual registration from Rugby Borough, a team who went up through the playoffs last year, probably Coventry United's best route to Step 4. If only you could win a place at Step 4 by winning the FA Vars, that would put even more vigour on the competition. But Coventry United will play AFC Stoneham on Saturday the 28th of February. There will be a team coach, so look out for further details in the next few days. And Fraser in towards Ryan Harkin, gobbled up with an air post. Quick thinking. Instant reactions from Rigby. You can't give a striker as clinical as Harkin a second on the ball, and Rigby made sure he didn't. And the ball from the back is all the way over Gillies. Seymour Shove looking to take inspiration from Haji Wright in last night's game at Middlesbrough. Couldn't get on the end of it this time, and Shea Palmer able to clip it out wide for the throw-in to Godmanchester. 15 to go until half-time. Godmanchester Rovers 0, Coventry United 0. Big win for the Sky Blues last night at the CBS Arena, back at the top of the tree after besting Borough 3-1. Zane Campbell from the right flank and headed back to his own keeper by Chris Cox. Seymour Shaw preventing Moore from distributing, so looks left and finds Stanley Fraser, another man who graduated through the playoffs last season with Rugby Borough. Back to Dan Moore, the former Worcester City #1. Palmer, a former Blue in his own right. And that's great control from Zazi. United have men up here. Zazi drifts to the left-hand side. Nehemiah Zazi looking for space to shoot. Great save in the end! And Ryan Harkin, he was offside anyway, but couldn't turn home the seconds. Well, it's a strike that Harkin, but it eats up 99 times out of 100. He makes his apologies, but even if he had hit the back of the net, it would have counted for precisely nothing. Zazi again. Proving to be United's danger man. Can he get there before the ball goes out of play? It's marginal. No, he's given up the ghost. He knew the ball just edged over the white line. To Mullins through ball. Drifting towards the left flank. Here's a pretty chilly evening in Godmanchester tonight. Anyone wearing 2 layers or less, certainly braver than me. Rigby. Holman to Randerson. Didn't get the chance to breathe thanks to Sawyer to flex out on the halfway line. Johnny Hall with ball in hand again. Holman's there in the vicinity. He's got a short behind too. Roper further afield. Goes for Seymour Shove. Loses that aerial duel to Sawyer. Hooked on by Cody Mullen. Ryan Harkin. Zazi looks for the ball. The flag stays down emphatically. Nehemiah Zazi. Stanley Jude waiting for the ball. into his path, but it's well intercepted by Newman. Palmer, Wilson playing a little deeper. Cox again. Campbell flicks it away. Mullen high, headed away. It's a real tussle between two teams at the opposite end of the table. And bundled over on the right flank, Zane Campbell draws in the free kick, 5 yards into Godmanchester turf. Roper. And it's poor control from Harry Roper. Straight out for the goal kick. Godmanchester have been wasteful in the final third. Coventry have 4 saves from Rigby. They've looked dangerous heading forward. Seems to be a little more measured than Godmanchester. Sawyer from Shea Palmer, back to Palmer. Gillies putting the former Worcester captain under pressure. It's a competent clearance from Moore. Headed into the ground by Holman. Roper, hoping for the run of Seymour's shove that never came. Now it's Cox bursting on. Through ball intended for Stanley Jube. It's found its target. Will Jube delivering? No, it won't. Newman getting there first. Now Roper looking to avoid disaster. Slide by Cox. Campbell, and again Chris Cox, who got the last touch. There is a throw into Godmanchester, much to the chagrin of Coventry United. On the fringes of Rigby's box. Campbell with the throw. And return to sender by Stanley Jube, thrown in exactly the same position for Godmanchester. Throw from Newman again. Coventry United sending Godmanchester back. And it's laid off for Lewis Wilson. Crucial slide in at the right time. Denies Wilson the chance. Charlie Short busting to keep the move alive. And it's great work from Short, the centre-back, to deny Coventry United. Now on the counter here. Come Godmanchester. It's a very short counter intercepted by Palmer. Moore. And it back where it came from by Short. Short again, nods across to Campbell. Zane Campbell. More distance and accuracy on that one. Moore collects. Danny Fraser. Fantastic hold-up play by Nehemi Azazi. Now looking to play it through for Ryan Harkin. Offside appeals again, fall on deaf ears. Harkin left side of the area. Down line for Danny Fraser. His cross connects with the head of the winger in Zane Campbell. Coventry United not done with this one yet. Stanley Jube marshalling through. He got the shots away. The referee's called it back for the free kick. And United wants a little more punishment, which they're not going to get at this stage. Step up, Danny Fraser. United swapping things around. Shaw and Mullen waiting outside the area. Cox called in. Will those tactics pay dividends as Fraser readies himself? It's Danny Fraser in, and the header by Cody Mullen was on target, but was not going to cause any sleepless nights for Rigby. Here comes Campbell. Avoids a slide in by Cody Mullen. The second swipe from the former Nuneaton centre mid will result in a free kick. And a word of warning from the referee. It was reckless, but not worthy of the first booking of the day. 7 to go until the break, 0-0 in the United Counties League Premier Division South tussle between Godmanchester Rovers and Coventry United. United currently in 4th place in the Premier Division South table. That's the chasing pack breathing down their necks. They need to get some points as they start to claw in those games in hand over the likes of Histon and Moulton. The free kick comes to nothing and actually could spark a reprieve for the Red and Greens. Harkin through to Harry Sawyer. Charlie Shaw and Hull like a bulldozer barging in from behind on Shaw. Coventry United given the free kick. Shaw held to his feet by Harry Sawyer. It was physical from Hull, but I've certainly seen more physicality than that being waved away. Another chance for Fraser to use his pinpoint crossing accuracy. Into Harkin, poked away by Shaw. Trying to keep a live control with Lewis Wilson, runs it into touch. Well, we will be going off air at half time for around 10 minutes here on CUTV for a quick drinks break. So get yourself a glass of something cold or a mug of something hot. Get back here for 8:45 for the exciting conclusion of this United Counties League fixture. Thrown from Hall, headed on by Gillies, but Chris Cox will take over for the Red and Greens. Fraser. Sarzi the target, it's flicked into his own backyard. Oh, and racing in was Stanley Dew. It cannons up the chest of Rigby. Doddie's own defence, hitting the self-destruct button. But at the other end, Seymour's shove, denied by the slide from Cox, and a ferocious hit from range. Stings the gloves of Dan Moore. Craig Gillies, I believe, with the first ever, which has caused any sort of reaction from Dan Moore so far. And Chris Cox is in need of treatment here. It was a heavy landing. And Ben Seymour's shove, just making sure that his adversary is okay. The physio may well be needed on cold nights like this. Any knock, any blow on any part of the body always feels worse. Takes the breath out of you, stings the nerves. And Cox remains down. The physio has not yet been called over. It's a chance for an impromptu drinks break and team talk for Godmanchester. Coventry United more interested in the condition of their teammates. I think the physio has been waived. Our Cox just needs a chance to catch his breath, and he's back on his feet. Gingerly, it must be said, but it would take more than that to keep the legend known as Chris Cox down for the count. As Cox didn't leave the field of play, he is able to continue straight away. And it will be a drop ball to the hands of Dan Moore, who made a pretty impressive save from Gillies. Moore taking his time, picking his spot. It's too short for Harry Sawyer. Randerson. Sawyer wraps his leg around it and plays it into the path of Lewis Wilson. Chest control by Nehemiah Zazi, sizing up his options. And Lewis Wilson, tight angle! Off the frame of the goal. So the goal kick will follow for Rigby. We have just 90 seconds of normal time to go in the first half here on CUTV. We're just waiting for the match ball to be returned. It's under some netting behind the goal. Rigby clears his boots. Oh, the worst area of the field in terms of the condition is the goal mouths and the middle of the park, so it's not the easiest of times for the goalkeepers. Flicked header on by Gillies. Cox showing that he's not been left behind with that injury. Able to clear it out for a Coventry United throw. The block made by, I think it was Holman who got his boot to it. In fact, it was Ben Seymour shoved, the number 10. And we're being told 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. So Coventry United with 2 minutes to find the breakthrough before they get a taste of the hairdryer treatment from the sensational Scouser Terry Anderson in the away changing room. Here comes the throw from Cox. Wilson up for it, couldn't make contact. Gillies heads through. Allen was a day late and a dollar short. Played into the area for Dan Moore, and there's space out wide for Fraser. As his team fan out, giving him options. But Godmanchester closing those options off pretty quickly, so it's behind to Moore again. From top field, and there is the confirmation of 2 added minutes. Nehemiah Zazi, it's knocked out of play by Newman. A quick throw from Zazi to Ryan Harkin. Might have to do it on his own here, and it was a task too far for Harkin. Edged off the ball by Zane Campbell. Seymour shoved the intended target, interception well made by Cox. Zazi strays offside as the ball is played. Free kick to Godmanchester. The current result would put Coventry United on 50 points. So 51 points, I should say. The game not being updated on the football web pages as of yet. Zazi battling for position with Josh Newman and dragged down the area by Hall. Referee shakes his head. No doubt Hall prevented Zazi from making the run, but did he prevent him from getting to the ball? That is the main thing the referee will be thinking about. Charlie Shaw looks on in disgust. I think it was close whether Zazi was getting there, but I think with his speed, you have to err on the side of the Coventry United number 10 with that one. Cox. Gonna flank it for Jube. Manchester race away for one more attack. We are just finishing the 2 minutes of added time, and Zane Campbell knocked off his stride as he lets fly towards the penalty area from the halfway line. Dan Moore ends that particular move. Cox bodied into touch by Zane Campbell. Referee checks the watch and brings the first half to a close. Coventry United with marginally the better of the first half. It's not been an opening 45 minutes of free-flowing football and lots of chances. The big talking point coming towards the end of the opening period with Nehemiah Zazi brought down by Johnny Hall. We'll consult the replay on that one. But Coventry United less than pleased that the whistle didn't blow. Half-time score here on CUTV. Godmanchester Rovers 0, Coventry United 0. We're ready for the second half here at Bears Cross Lane. Coventry United and Godmanchester Rovers still stalemated at 0-0 after the opening 45 minutes. Coventry United now kicking from right to left in front of the main grandstand in the United Counties League Premier Division South. The referee just checking that no one's trying to sneak on a 12th man. No changes from what we can see at the break. So let's get this second half underway here in the United Counties League Premier Division South. On a slightly sandy surface at Bears Cross Lane. And the kick from Rigby starting to the head of Sandy Jube, who's playing out on the left wing in this second half. It's going to be taken by Zane Campbell. We distracted him there with the name drop. Gillies. And it's snatched away by Cox. Edges away from the challenge of Gillies. Fraser. And tried the kung fu kick there. Jamie Short skews out on this near side. Fraser looks for options. Headed up and out by the number 2, Josh Newman. And Coventry with a few more yards to work with. Fraser. Cody Mullen forces another throw in. This time for it's Newman behind. And waiting for the ball to be returned. Coventry are now level with the Goddy box. Fraser ready to propel it into the area. Wilson flicked up and into the hands of Rigby. And Max Rigby, Cox should deal with that one. And it's an awkward bounce past Matty Allen into touch. So Cox will take the throw in on the fringe of his own penalty area. Here's Shea Palmer, his new central defensive partner. Hoofed upfield towards Harkin. Back where it came from by Short. Mullen. Short again, turning it away. And Seymour Shove looking for the through ball. Gillies giving chase, but even a gather like that is not easy for the goalkeepers. The areas in the box and on the fringes are bobbly and sandy. Even a comfortable gather like that, they have to think about. Just that little bobble could take it away from their hands. So the goalkeepers have got to be on point at all times. It's cleared by Palmer. Coventry can go no further. It's over the head of Palmer. The offside flag stays down. It's a chance to cross. And Allen didn't get a clean connection at point blank range. Slips off the boot in the mouth of the goal. Fraser. Stanley Jube plays it into defence, and Chris Cox sends it soaring over the CUTV camera. It's a good job Peter Crouch isn't the cameraman. He would have got one on the head. Old mate of mine on the bench for Godmanchester, former Coventry Spinks winger Andre Williams. One of 3 players withdrawn from the starting lineup who lost 2-0 against Daventry. It's a good header away at the near post by Chris Cox. Jube. So back where it came from by Short. Wilson took a connection off Holman. And Charlie Shaw for the Harkin was more advanced than he was. Drifts into the area, and Rigby. Was that a little glimpse of time wasting there? It's like a little extended period picking the ball up. But to be fair, the 0-0 for Godmanchester would be no disaster against a Coventry United team who scored 9 this time last week. Roy Eden in the chat, one-time stadium announcer at the Butts Park Arena, who's now been bestowed with the honour of super fan on the YouTube comment section, but you don't get a pay rise for that, Roy. Danny Fraser at left back for the Red and Greens. Nehemiah Zazi just out to get his toe to the ball. Mullen. Sawyer surging down the right, and he's got Charlie Shaw with him. Still going Sawyer, cutting in from the right-hand side. Was looking for Ryan Harkin. Cleared well by Campbell. And Gillies holds it up in the centre circle, looking for options. Out wide with Ben Seymour Shove. Still seeing a shove. And the connection from Shaw slowed it down. And Craig Gillies, with what should have been a simple bit of control, lets it slip. Jube, nice give and go with Cox. Covered up by Zane Campbell. Jube holding it up. And Fraser skews it to the left. Not what he intended, I'm sure. And as we start to look to the benches for inspiration, on the bench for Godmanchester, Andre Williams, as we mentioned earlier, Gaz Smith, Josh Smith, Dan Brown and Toby Jackson. And for Coventry United, on the bench, Cameron Dunn, Riley Devoyle, Isaac Adegoke, Benji Adamarco and Luke Downs. So Campbell once more with ball in hand. Off the knee of Cox and volleyed into relative safety. Johnny Hall knocks the number 8 off the ball there, Chris Cox. Wayward ball towards the right-hand side from the right centre-back Newman, and Coventry United got the throw, but they've given it away cheaply. Gillies, and the chance to thread it in for Harry Roper, curtailed. Cox. His long ball headed on by Newman, and Zazi just shoves Zane Campbell off the ball, and Coventry United with the throw in their own backyard, which is quickly taken by Cox. Fraser, cheeky back heel to Chris Cox. We're going to turn on to style with that long ball from Cox. It's cushion header clear by Campbell. Again, Godmanchester with poor ball retention in the final third. Moore was between a rock and a hard place there, but Matty Allen couldn't block the clearance. Fraser. Ryan Harkin told send him, but Jube had been covered off. So he goes with Cody Mullen instead. Runs into Holman. Wilson tries to latch onto it, but Seymour Shove receives the distribution. Gillies charging out wide, beaten to it by Shea Palmer. Moore. Harry Sawyer for Coventry United. Space in the midfield for Lewis Wilson. Is it too high for Stanley Jube? No, it wasn't. And Nehemiah Zadi tried to return it. Zane Campbell got in the way, but battled hard. Stanley Jube has been a bit too forceful in stopping Zane Campbell from getting to his feet and racing on to challenge Nehemiah Zazi, who was free down the left wing. Frustration for Coventry United as the substitutes are warming up. In the right-hand corner, we see Luke Downs, Benji Adamarco, and Riley Devoyle going through their paces. And less said about that kick, the better from Rigby. Harry Sawyer. It's a competent clearance from Hall. The pitch starts to get a little cut up in the centre. Crossfield ball intercepted by Fraser, and leaning in from the back was Allen. Free kick Coventry United. Fraser tried to take it quickly. Allen stepped in, prevented him from doing so. 9 minutes of the second half have gone. Here on CUTV, Godmanchester Rovers 0, Coventry United 0. Shout out to Reggie Cray, hopefully not the real one, and RJ Pat testing. Ronnie saying Shea Palmer is a blue, a Birmingham City blue. We've all got our faults. And Fraser's delivery headed away by Gillies, using his size and strength at the back. Palmer mops it up at centre back, behind to Dan Moore, with only one save to make as of yet. Quiet evening for the United number 1, just how he likes it. And they haven't made it too difficult for Rigby at the other end. Sawyer. And even simple balls at the moment aren't landing for the red and greens. Playing it around the back four. Shea Palmer. Look for Charlie Shaw down the right wing. Headed back, came on by Hall. Juggled up by Cody Mullen. Cox steps away from Seymour's shove. Sawyer sends it into the danger zone. Brilliant chest control from Zazi. And Charlie Shaw drilling it in for Ryan Harkin. But perhaps Harkin wasn't expecting it. And an unfortunate slip by Chris Cox played through down the right-hand side for Matty Allen. Gillies making himself available on the left-hand side. Still going Allen. And it's a pretty powerless effort in the end from Allen. But did brilliantly to open the door. Mullen. Crossfield ball to Stanley Dube. Threads the needle for Nehemiah Zazi playing on the right wing. Mullen's delivery. The header from Hall prevents Harkin from having a chance in his favoured area. Zane Campbell collects on this near side, but gifts it to Cox. The long ball headed on by Ryan Harkin straight to Hall. It's almost as if both of these teams are afraid to make the first mistake. Palmer off the heel of Ryan Harkin and bounces towards the net. Well, I don't think that can count as a shot. And the next time we're on air here on CUTV at the Easington Sports Ground on Saturday, 3 o'clock kickoff. Easington Sports versus Coventry United. Live commentary, as always, here on CUTV as Godmanchester are preparing their first change. It's so far so good for Goddy. They've had their moments and are keeping a Coventry United side who have been well in the goals. Very much quiet so far. A stumble from Cox necessitates him sliding out on this near side on the deck against Matty Allen. And Ben Seymour's shove is the man withdrawn for the former Coventry Spinks and Racing Club Warwick man Andre Williams. And Coventry United similarly preparing their first change. And is that Benji Adamarco preparing? I believe it is. The pacey winger. The flanks actually don't look too bad on the bobbly surface here at Bearscroft Lane. Probably the better areas of the park, so Adamarco could be of some use. They have to wait to make the substitution until this passage of play has come and gone. Here's Campbell. Barged over the line by Lewis Wilson. Beautiful strength on show. And now comes the Coventry United change. Who will it be? And it's Charlie Shaw leaving the field. Hasn't quite been the evening Shaw would have liked. But still a surprise to see the former Highgate man withdrawn so early. Perhaps a change of pace, change of tack. Coventry don't tend to play with wingers, but now with Dube on the left and Adamarco on the right, either side of Harkin and Adamarco, are they going for some proper wing play? Palmer. Lofts it up for Nehemiah Zazi. Was there a drag on the shoulder? Zazi seems to think so, but the referee doesn't agree. And here comes Andre Williams with his first meaningful effort. And Matty Allen with the header. And Coventry United fall behind. What an introduction for Andre Williams. His first passage of play. Straight in with the assist. Williams gets the plaudits. It's Matty Allen whose header puts Goddy in front. Moore left stranded with nowhere to go as Allen connected sweetly with the Bonts. Coventry United shell-shocked with half an hour to go. They are behind at Bearscroft Lane. Godmanchester Rovers 1, Coventry United 0. So it's a backs-to-the-wall kind of job for the Red and Greens. They've got to do things the hard way. They've not fallen behind too many times under Terry Anderson since his return to the club in November, but immediately on the attack, and they've got the advantage. Nehemi Azazi in from the right, and that will be a corner to Coventry United. And I think Roy Eden has put it perfectly on the YouTube comment section. Bugger. Fraser in, and the free header from Shea Palmer via a deflection goes out for a second corner for the Red and Greens. United getting their marching orders from the sidelines. They need some inspiration here. They won't get it from the corner. It's headed straight out for the throw on the right wing. Adamarco, first on delivery by Danny Fraser, diving header cleared by Hall, and an overhead kick attempt there by Stanley Jube. I mean, Coney Mullen, I should say. I don't think it was ever going to cause any sort of significant bother to Max Rigby, but points for style. And Rigby down the left. Sawyer stabs it into the ground. This would be somewhat of an upset. Handball claims against Hall. Referee says nothing doing, and the frustration starting to build for Coventry United. It's back with more outside his area. Adamarco waiting for it. Hall towers above and sent it out for the throw into the left. Zazi. Advantage given. And the referee trying to get Coventry United a chance to burst in from the right. Will they get another corner? Yes, they will. The advantage didn't last long enough for a free kick as they lost it momentarily, but they battled hard, won it back, and forced the set piece. Charlie Faulkner tuned in saying, "Come on, boys." Charlie missing tonight's game with an injury. Fraser. Now as far as Ryan Harkin drawn it towards the net, but the referee's given the foul against Coventry United. Hall laying in a heap. And Roy Eden saying to the bugger comment, "You can't say that. Roy, my show, my rules." Ofcom aren't listening. So Rigby with the free kick in his own area. Drifts to the left. And Jube fouled mid-air. Coventry with the free kick on the halfway line. A little too forceful from Craig Gillies. Cox levers it. Stanley Jube behind to Danny Fraser. Godmanchester keeping a good shape. And keeping Coventry United relatively quiet. Cox again. Shea Palmer. And Godmanchester racing onto it. Here comes Roper. Leaves Wilson on the deck. Still Roper hits the backside of Danny Fraser. And look for Zane Campbell down the right wing. It rolls in front of him for the throw for Coventry United. But they have to step up. They have to kick into a higher gear. United's struggles have come away from home this season. They've only lost one in the league at home. That being on the opening day against Ayleston Park, who were at the heights of their powers at that stage of the season. Away from home, it's been a very different story. Neat control in the centre circle from Cox, following Rigby's clearance. Little shove in the back, referee again says nothing. And Shea Palmer with an errant boot on Gillies on the halfway line. Free kick, Godmanchester. .25 to go, time running out for Coventry United. Doesn't feel that way. So it's Hall drifting right. Unchallenged header clear by Fraser. Holman. An under-hit pass. And Ryan Harkin latches onto it. Harkin trying to edge away from Holman. Leaves him on the deck. Through ball down the right. Slide in by Randerman. And it's stuck a touch of Benji Adamarco on the way through. I believe it's a Godmanchester throw. Renderson just toe poking it to the wing. Will there be more changes for Coventry United? You have to assume there will be. The current setup not quite hitting the heights. Throwing mopped up in defence by Cox. Zazi gives chase. Header back to the goalkeeper by Short. That's the end of that chapter. And Coventry are preparing a change. It's Riley DeVoyle preparing as Rigby lets his kick fly straight out. Cox. Taking his time, and time is something that Coventry don't have in abundance. Palmer. That's a lovely header on for Benji Adamarco. And Adamarco to equalise! Levers it over the woodwork. Change for the Red and Greens forthcoming. They're just fiddling with the substitutes board. And Godmanchester, I've got to try and find a new match ball. Danny Fraser trying to speed up play here by sending the ball towards the goalkeeper. To be fair, that's probably the best pass we've seen all day. Well, the change waits for now. Rigby drifts towards Zane Campbell. Had to lean in with the shoulder to control. Gillies the captain. Matty Allen was not going to reach that one. It could past his right shoulder out for the throw-in. And Danny Fraser getting another match ball, and he's been asked to take the throw a little further back. So he goes to Chris Cox at centre-back. Threads it through for Palmer. Gillies on his shoulder. Half volley to the right by Holman. Adamarco can't pick out a red shirt. Randerson. Forceful from Nehemi Azazi, but fair. Adamarco covered up by Short. Harry Sawyer. And gobbled up with the near post, Rigby. Protecting his goal with vigour. Kick from Rigby, volleyed to touch by Danny Fraser, and United still deciding who to withdraw for DeVoy. Looks like Cameron Dunn's coming on too. So a double change for the Red and Greens coming up. Kept in by Matty Allen, the goal scorer. Campbell has got Mullen and Jube to contend with. It's free with Campbell on the right. Oh, and a dangerous touch from Stanley Jube. Forcing Moore to dart to his right. Moore has got control and quickly sends it off-field towards Zazi. Hall wins that aerial duel. Wilson, I think there were question marks whether Harkin was onside or not. He didn't reach the ball anyway. Lewis Wilson. Sawyer to Benji Adamarco, knocks it off the blue shirt. And Zazi tried one from range, hits the standing leg. Still Zazi! Stings the gloves and thumped over by Ryan Harkin. And again, like in the first half, it matters little because the flag is raised. Here comes the double change. It looks to me as if it's Devoyle and Dunn coming on for the red and greens. So Coventry's second top scorer in Cameron Dunn, our left winger by trade. And Ronnie Devoyle, a centre mid, come attacking mid. And Stanley Dube, the first man to lead the field. A good run out for the Coventry United man. So on in his place, Cameron Dunn. And Lewis Wilson, the second man, whose evening comes to an end on his return to the team. Riley Devoyle on, the vice-captain. And United need leadership in that midfield. They need to progress. They need to keep on pushing for that equalising goal. We're 19 minutes away from the final whistle. It's Godmanchester Rovers 1, Coventry United 0. Dunn's header on this near side. Sorry, Mullen's header on this near side, I should say. Dunn couldn't reach it. That's the throw towards Gillies, chested down by Allen, who got that crucial goal midway through the second half. Mullen brings Allen down. Referee waves away protest. Now Ronnie Devoyle looking for the clip down the right-hand side for Benji Adamarco. If anyone can get that, Adamarco can. It's sent high into the night sky by Hall and sent flying over the away dugout. And Terry Anderson playing ball boy. Oldest ball boy I've seen for a while. Sawyer to Devoyle in the centre circle. The space out wide for Cameron Dunn. Doesn't reach him thanks to the head of Zane Campbell. Will he get to the seconds? No, he won't. Just the wrong side of the line. Fraser with a quick throw. Cody Mullen. Campbell edges it towards the line and gets the throw. Great work on show by the right wing back. Throwing deep into their own territory for Gotti, who could be on for a big win against a team fancied by many for the playoffs. Coventry would remain fourth, but would waste an opportunity to claw in points on Histon and Marchtown United, who they were set to face on Saturday, if not for the rain. Palmer. Drifting right, covered off by Allen. Opens up space in the midfield for Chris Cox, who of course was once a central midfielder. Is not afraid of a little dart from the back. It's back with Palmer. Floated towards Benji Adamarco. Nodded clear. Hall doing the necessaries. Cox. It's over the head of Cody Mullen. Harkin making himself available, didn't get the chance. Opens up for Craig Gillies, the skipper, down the right-hand side. Cameron Dunn's tracking back, as is Danny Fraser. Through ball for Zane Campbell. And the lunge in by Cox. Got enough of the ball for the referee's liking. Fraser rolls it behind Zane Campbell to Cameron Dunn. Dunn, high one. Ryan Harkin trying to put Rigby under pressure. It's returned high and unhandsome towards this near side. It's one in the air by Dunn. Devoyle, fantastic give and go with Mullen and opens the back door for Cody Mullen. Plenty of space in the midfield. Lofts it to Adamarco, overlap made by Harry Sawyer. Still Adamarco, still Benji Adamarco, rolls it in, and Ryan Harkin! Coventry United equalise! The red and green's in need of a hero. Ryan Harkin steps up. He's been starved of chances this afternoon. But with the ingenuity of Devoyle and Mullen in midfield, the tenacity of Benji Elamarco out wide, the door was well and truly ajar for Ryan Harkin to burst in. 15 to go. We've got a game on our hands. It's 1-1. And a delayed restart from Allen. Godmanchester have now got to think about their priorities. A point or potentially losing what they have for the chance of going for all three. It's like stick or twist on Saturday Night Takeaway. Holman bobbles to the near side and Zane Campbell. Still Campbell. Allen, who got the opening goal, avoids the slide of Danny Fraser. And it's prodded away by Harry Saw, and the flank left open for Benji Elamarco, who didn't reach and cut out by Hall. Ball a bit too central for Elamarco's liking. Williams' delivery, unchallenged header clear by Cox. Now here comes Cameron Dunn. Can they catch Godmanchester on the break? Nehemiah Zazi, who's been a goal machine since his arrival from Sutton Coldfield. Zazi deflected into the area and diverted away by Short. Allen on the halfway line, touched from behind by Danny Fraser. And Fraser did get the last touch. I don't think he agrees, but it looked to me as if he got the last touch. Change is afoot again for Coventry United. It looks like Isaac Adigoke is going to get his chance, his Coventry United debut. And Coventry United giving away the free kick there. Cody Mullen barging Gillies over. Well, physicality, not a word that the man in black seems to like tonight. The travelling red and green army, sparse in numbers tonight, but no less passionate. Williams with the free kick. Flicked up by Gillies. Couldn't send it anywhere towards a blue shirt. Holman stands firm in the midfield. Onto the head of Cody Mullen for Coventry United. Cameron Dunn. Nehemiah Zazi gives chase to that headed ball. And now plays it through for Ryan Harkin. Men are back for Godmanchester. Will they be enough? Yes, they will. And Campbell scrambles away. Devoyle up. Mullen down. And Zazi in for Ryan Harkin. Blocked on the slide by Short. A Coventry United corner where the pendulum has turned in Coventry United's favour. In by Devoyle, nodded down by Cox. Handball claims. Fall on deaf ears, up towards Williams on the clearance. United snatch it. And it's rolled into the area. Campbell clears. Cox looking for a secondary delivery. Devoyle with the header towards Ryan Harkin. And Harkin completes the turnaround. Lethal from Ryan Harkin. Cox launched it into the danger zone. Ronnie Devoyle for a moment I thought he was having an effort on goal. It turned out to be a perfectly played assist for Ryan Harkin. It's been a frustrating night for Terry Anderson and his boys, and they've done it the hard way here at Bearscroft Lane. But now, with just 10 minutes to go, Coventry United in the ascendancy by 2-1. And Coventry United are making a very late substitution there. They're about to kick off there. Godmanchester Rosa. Ryan Harkin for scoring the second goal is being withdrawn, and in his place is the debutant formerly of Rugby Town and Highgate United, a man who nearly joined the club earlier in the season under the stewardship of Jamie Bakaski. On for the Red and Greens, number 15, Isaac Adegoke. 40 supporters currently tuned in. We've had over 500 views on the Coventry stream tonight. Thank you so much for your support. And now Coventry have to see the job out. And Dunn does well to leap above Allen. Over the stand it goes. They can't celebrate the 3 points yet. A crucial 3 points it would be, but Godmanchester may have something to say about the current scoreline. The throw by Campbell. Gillies towers above the rest, but a towering volley by Danny Fraser upfield. Nehemiah Zazi will now take centre points up front. Hall and Marco a fraction of a second behind. Campbell in from the right and sent over the stand again. Another match ball is going to be needed. And the restart will be a little quicker now from Godmanchester Rovers than earlier in the second half. But he'll have to wait, actually, as the substitution is made. Coming on for Goddy at the expense of Harry Roper will be Dan Brown. So Dan Brown on for Matty Roper. Campbell has to take the throw a little further down line. Here comes the long run up from Campbell. Cox unchallenged away. Knocked down by Allen, the goal scorer. The Red and Green Army in full voice now. Newman looking for a cross-field pass, met in the air by Adam Marco. Stabbed into the ground by Devoyle. Mullen couldn't find a way through to Nehemiah Zazi, but sticking his head into the very high tempo midfield, but Coventry United now embarking through Cody Mullen. Now Devoyle scored some stunners last week. Does he fancy another? Didn't quite get the power behind that one. They can go for the third, they can try and make it safe, but they have to stay solid at the back, Coventry United. They can ill afford to concede again. They went behind in the early minutes of the second half through Matty Allen's header, but two from Ryan Harkin, giving Coventry United the lead at the moment. He doesn't like doing interviews, Ryan Harkin. We'll get the bugger one time. And yeah, Roy, there's that word again. Come at me. Long from Hall. Brown up front for the remainder of the game. Battling hard with Sawyer. Charged down by Cody Mullen, and the United man there sent flying. Allen trying to cut in from the right, prevented from doing so by Danny Fraser. Did well to block Cameron Dunn from clearing, and it will be a corner to Godmanchester. 6 minutes of normal time to go. Coventry have one change left, that being Luke Downs, the central midfielder. Chris Cox marshalling his troops, setting up what could be a crucial defensive display. And it's Fraser's header at the near post. On by Devoyle. Nehemiah Zazi setting up for Cameron Dunn. Through ball for Benji Adamarco. And he's got the speed. Adamarco bursting down the left-hand side. Adamarco to take it all the way. Just drags it past the far post. Well, it's been the story of Adamarco's return to Coventry United. The setup play is exquisite, just lacking the final touch. And the clearance from Rigby. Free kick Coventry United. Cody Mullen receiving a bit of a barge from Gillies. And it's taken a bit more of a toll on Cody Mullen. He's stayed down. Dan Moore yelling at his players. These levels do not drop. Keep it up. You've worked hard for this lead. Now maintain it. 4 to go. Plus stoppages. It's over the head of Benji Anamarco. Straight to Rigby, who looks to get his team on the front foot immediately. Brown dispossessed from behind by Shea Palmer. Zazi chases the loose ball, turned away by Short. Campbell playing more centrally. And now Matty Allen. His goal seems a long time ago for the Gotti faithful. Fraser getting in between player and ball and smacking it off Matty Allen. And now it's Coventry, who are not too enthusiastic about a quick restart. Fraser looks up line towards Zazi. And that's fantastic control from Nehemiah Zazi. Well, Godmanchester have wrestled it back. Gillies. And now it's with the substitute Dan Brown, forced out of the area by a combination of Cox and Fraser. Juggled out by Benji Anamarco following the secondary cross. And Devoe just wants to get it away, but it's to the feet of Short. Switching the play to Andre Williams. Hall towards Williams again. The offside flag's up. Free kick to the Red and Greens with 3 minutes to go, and they've taken it quickly. Adamarco. Cameron Dunn receives from Adamarco. Late lunge from Randerson. Took out Dunn by the heels. Referee thought he didn't get enough of the ball for his liking. Ed Randerson. The Godmanchester number 3 on the wrong end of that foul. And Fraser thought about playing the free kick. Well, Godmanchester weren't ready, but Devoe was now going to call it back, and there's going to be, I think, another change for Godmanchester Rovers, or are they getting the added minutes ready? Doesn't seem to be any more warm-ups for Godmanchester. They brought on 2 subs in Brown and Williams. Williams getting the assist for the opening goal. Mullen, is he going to take it all the way into the corner? Randerson can't deprive Mullen. And at the far post, Coventry United make it safe. Benji Adamarco finally gets his moment. No one has worked harder for Coventry United over the last number of weeks. He hasn't got the goals he has deserved. But as he sends it soaring into the roof of the net, you'll seldom find a more popular goal in the 25-26 season. Benji Adamarco, welcome back to the score sheet. And Coventry United can breathe easy. A comeback victory for the Red and Green surely now on the cards. And United preparing their last change. It looks like Luke Danter's coming on for the last dredgings of this match. Throw by Allen. Dan Brown backing into Fraser. Cameron Dunn prizes it away. Adegoke. Sends it straight towards the corner. Zazi will chase. Along the right touchline by Newman. Allen will chase that long ball from Newman, and Moore will just let it trickle agonisingly over the line for the goal kick. And Luke Downs ready to make his cameo from the bench. 4 minutes of added time have just been announced. 4 minutes for Coventry United to see this out, as more precious seconds will tick away with the substitution of Hemi Azazi. No goal tonight for the striker, but he has played his part and then some. Well, it's now time to name our CUTV man of the match, and personally I think he'd double foot me on the way out if I didn't even give it to him, so it's got to be Coventry United's number 5, Chris Cox. Moore drifts to the left, Adamarco off the head. Cameron Dunn, tired legs starting to cost Godmanchester after a big shift in the early minutes of the second half. Adamarco twisting and turning out of danger. Down line with Luke Downs, fresh off the bench. Mullen. Chip pass for Adamarco, who swapped to the left wing. Along the flank to Fraser. And appeals of offside, and they are eventually given as Riley Devoyle says, sod it, and sticks it in the back of the net. And the kick from Rigby is just over the line before Allen can get to it, and Fraser didn't hear the whistle and punched it towards the far side of the field. And Roy Eden in the comments putting it perfectly, in Terry and Luke we trust. And in these lads, these red and green stars, in them we trust. They have given us some amazing moments all through the season. And hopefully yet more to come in League and Cup as we approach the final 2 and a bit months of the 25-26 season. Cameron Dunn tripped from behind, and Coventry United have the free kick, and they are nearly there. 1 minute of added time to go. Godmanchester roaring at Coventry United. Get on with it. Get the game started again. And men stationed in this corner to play keep away with Godmanchester. Devoyle and Mullen making a beeline for the left corner. And it's out for a goal kick. Tried to keep it in the corner, but couldn't do so for more than a couple of seconds. And Tricia Nowak, wife of Chairman Ray Nowak, saying, that's how we do it. Fraser, a thunderous clearance. Adamarco racing across shore, but can't take the ball with him. The 4 minutes have elapsed. Godmanchester running on borrowed time. And Brown! Oh, that would have been a fantastic effort! Dipping towards Dan Moore with no sight at goal. Moore acting quickly to make sure Coventry United's road to the finale is a little more comfortable than it otherwise would have been. And the finale is here! Coventry United with a comeback triumph! 2 from Ryan Harkin and a feel-good goal for Benji Adamarco, completing the turnaround here at Bearscroft Lane.
Get in, Cookie.
An afternoon of hard toil and frustration at times, going behind through Matty Allen's header. But the red and greens rallied behind their manager and behind each other to grasp a 3 points, which will start to reel in the teams above them. Fourth place solidified with victory under the lights. Full time here at Bearscroft Lane. Godmanchester Rovers 1, Coventry United 3. And that will do us here on CUTV. We are back on Saturday with the trip to Easington Sports. Another tough away tie, but no doubt Coventry United will be man enough to take up the challenge. Highlights will be available tomorrow evening here on the Coventry United TV YouTube channel as the players make their way off the pitch to the applause of the Red and Green Army and the Red and Green commentators, must be said. What a performance from the lads. Great comeback. Final score again. Godmanchester 1, Coventry United 3. Liam Cook signing off from Bearscroft Lane.